Hi, and welcome back to the Pillars of the Kingdom series. Today we're going to talk about the fourth and final pillar, live this moment. In no way is the order of these pillars reflective on any level of importance, and I guess at some level, live this moment is the overarching pillar of the rest of your life, really. Independent of what it is you're doing, who you're becoming, all those things, if you're not doing it in this present moment, then it's kind of all for naught, really. So this is a potentially difficult concept to get your head around, but hey, we're going to go there and see what we can uncover, and I hope to get some feedback and see what else we can explore together about this. So I guess where I want to start is the idea that we are all right where we need to be. And that's a pretty easy thing to shoot off, but it is fundamentally true from a physical perspective, and also the place where we need to get comfortable with being. So, look, I think we've all had those experiences of, say, running late. You're running late to get to work, and you project yourself out into all the things that could go wrong now. My boss isn't going to be happy. I'm going to miss that meeting. I'll have to stay back today. Whatever it is. And the thing is that none of that stuff has happened just yet. You're just running late. And we become very distracted at that moment with regard to all the things that could happen by being late. They haven't even happened yet. It could be the case we get there and the boss was late, or he didn't mind because you did have a reason that was fair. So this is the thing we do to ourselves, though, is we are constantly projecting out into the future about things that haven't happened, and by doing so, we become distracted. So in this example, what happens is that our distraction of the future, of the thoughts of the future, of the things that haven't happened yet, distract us from being right here now, which might have been the stop sign that you miss now, and now you've missed and created an adverse scenario right here and now, because you're distracted about something in the future that hadn't happened. So we're all right where we need to be, and we need to get really comfortable with that. So there's a quote I really love, and it is that the field on which the game of life is played is the present moment, by Eckhart Tolle. And I really love this, because what he's speaking to is really there is only ever this moment. And we get so consumed physically. Clearly we can only be in this moment right now. If it's 10:57 in the morning, then I can't be anywhere else other than 10:57. But our beautiful creative minds have this ability to be able to project us out into the future and worry about things that haven't happened yet, or get attached to things that we're looking forward to, and to take us into the past, where we look for excuses, reason for why we're where we're at, things like that. Of course, we can reflect back fondly as well, but the reality is that none of that is right here. That's just where our minds take us. And ultimately, what we want to be doing is closing the gap between where we physically are and where our minds are, so that we create presence. And that's what living this moment is really about. So I guess, why is it kind of so hard to do this? Why is it that we are always leaving this moment to project into the future or look backwards? So, and for me, both of those things, it's pretty crazy to think of, but like, if I'm driving the car, I wouldn't be looking to go forward into the future in my car down the street while looking in the rear view mirror. And I wouldn't be sitting here equally, from a different perspective, in the middle of summer, putting a sweater on because winter's going to come one day. And really, the idea of not being present is as crazy as that, as you driving while you're looking backwards, or putting a jumper on today because it's going to be cold soon enough. And I'm sure you'd agree that seems pretty crazy. And that's exactly where, if you're not in this moment, that's where you are living. So, but the thing is that much of our conditioning in life is that we tend to be in a structure where we're working towards something that's in the future. And sometimes that's done in such a way that there's little regard for what you're doing right now. So, and that could be education, you know, get that degree or whatever it is, and there's no real focus on the process of getting there. It's that I need that degree so I can get that job because that's what society tells me a successful life will look like, or whatever, however it is that manifests in your life. So there's some cultural things about that, and it's also a bit of a reflection on us. Perhaps we're not so happy with where we are right now, and if that's you, just know that your current life circumstance is not your life. It's just that, the experience that you're having right now. So how do we get past that idea of the fact that it's reasonable and expected that we live today and we also want to build something for the future? So the thing that happens here is that there's nothing wrong with doing something for a future outcome. The only issue becomes is if you're doing so with only attachment to the outcome. So what we're talking about there is that, you know, you're grinding away at a job, at some task that you see has to be done to get you somewhere, with the hope that when you get to that thing, that's the answer and where you will find happiness. Yet you've really got to know that the means is the end. You can't grind away for 5, 10, 15, 20 years at a job you don't like because you think in retirement you're going to head off to that little quiet town somewhere by the beach and live, and it will be meaningful and you'll all of a sudden be happy, because it just doesn't work like that. So you really need to be making sure that the things that you're doing today are from a place of inspired action. That, yeah, sure, they take you to somewhere in the future, but they're also something you're enjoying today. Now, the thing about this is that particular life experience gets much easier when you've addressed our other pillars. So if you are tapping into the king in you and you are living your legend and you're taking action that's founded in those two anchors within you, within that source energy of you, you will find that the things you're moving to are more aligned with your true self and therefore present joy and opportunity today. So, look, there's some big, I guess, concepts and ideals to get your head around there, but it's a super important thing, and I didn't find it. It took a lot of study for me to try and understand this idea of working to the future, being here now, respecting both of these things. And look, all I can say is, and I guess it's partly why the pillars are built in the way they are, if you can get connected to that true source of you, your king, and what your design looks like, your design life looks like, your kingdom, and start moving towards that, it will feel good to you. And it will feel good today. It won't just feel good to be attached to what's out in the future. And when you feel good, it will feel like life is coming to you rather than you're pushing out to try and find where life is. That's a good spot to be. And it's one that I really hope that you get connected with. And my purpose here is not to provide all the answers. I just hope that I'm bringing some awareness around that makes you go, what do I read next? Where do I go? What source might be my next fuel to living in this way? And if I can open that door for you, then that's awesome. And I really hope that that's the case. So look, this present moment, it's all we have. Enjoy it, make the most of it. And I really hope that that's where you find yourself. So look, thanks so much for being with me through the 4 pillars. Again, you got questions? Put them in the comments. I'd love to address them for you and do my best. And look, if there's something I can learn, I'm an open book for that as well. So, and I'd love to hear from you and get some lessons too. And we're all on this journey together. So, look, be the king in you. Live a life of purpose. Take responsibility. Act. And make your life matter. Live a legacy. Live a legend. And have a good time. Let's have some fun. Thanks so much for joining me. #JRLife.